Good morning, authors. How are we doing today? Steve with Viva Purpose, and today we're back with another free sample Friday. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit more about free samples and different options. Okay, last week we talked about the free sample, giving away a sample of your book, the first chapter of your book. That is the most common free sample. And it's a great way to get readers interested, to create new fans, new customers for your book. And so that's a great way to expose them to your style of writing, to what you're about, different things along those lines. So today I want to talk to you about some other options that are a little bit more out of the box, maybe you haven't considered, but they're along the same lines of the free sample. All right, so make sure you leave a comment down below on what free samples you're giving away, if you have the free sample of your book you're giving away, or if you're offering something else, and what that looks like, what that is. And it could be anything. We'll talk about a few of those things. So first off, we talk about the free sample of our book. Now, it doesn't always have to be the same free sample. For example, for us, we have a Relocate to Costa Rica book. The first 20 pages that is the same as what's Amazon, that is our standard free sample. That is our standard free giveaway, okay? However, we also have various chapters on transportation, on shopping, on a number of other things. What we have chosen to do at times is to give away, and sometimes this is just a limited time thing. This is the other thing. It's not always you're always going to have access to this particular free sample. It could be for a limited time you get this free sample, and that's also a way to create scarcity. So sometimes for a limited time we will offer, for example, our chapter on shopping in Costa Rica, because there's a lot of people who are interested on what can I buy there, what do I need to bring with me, things along those lines. And so that appeals to them on a different level, and sometimes the introduction, which is just barely getting into our book, doesn't speak to their needs, and they don't get the sense that they're going to get their questions answered, what they really need to know about answered. So we'll offer a different section of our book, and it doesn't have to be a full 20 pages. It could be 5 pages, it could be 100 pages. It doesn't matter. It's up to you in your book on what you offer, but you could offer a different sample out of that same book, so it's a little bit different. Okay, that's one thing. That's pretty much along those same lines of a free sample from your book. But what other options do you have? Well, for us, we've created some additional tips, right? So we've taken some of the things out of our book as well as some other experiences, and we've created like a tip list. That's another thing that we have offered. We have offered a budget builder for moving to Costa Rica, something separate, but it still falls in line. So you're saying to yourself, okay, I have a novel. It really doesn't relate to what you're talking about, Steve. What could I possibly give away? How about you give away a free sample of a side story? Something that take one of the characters from your book and give them a little bit more information, a little bit of a side story that character, so it doesn't really pertain to your book. Maybe you don't want to mess up the plot of your book and all of that, but you have some readers who are really interested about this character, or in your mind you really picture this character, but you haven't really developed out their personality or what makes them tick or their driving force. Maybe you need to provide some backstory. So offering a side story, a little short story, so to speak, that goes along with your book is a great option. Now, this is also a way to potentially create a short story that you could also market and sell on Amazon or someplace else at a very low price, kind of a step into your book, especially if your book is a little bit higher priced. This is also a way to kind of step people into it if you give them a side story, a short story that correlates with that. Okay, so that's a novel. What if I wrote a health book? What might I be able to do with a health book? Give away some free recipes, right? So here are some great healthy recipes that will help you reduce your sodium intake, if that's something that you're trying to promote, or how to eat more proteins and less carbs, or whatever your deal is. I don't know, but along the lines of a health book, offer free recipes, offer some cooking instruction, or maybe some additional tips. Hey, by the way, here's some research that was found. Take a look at this article by XYZ doctor who talks about the benefits of increasing this in your diet or decreasing that in your diet. Find ways to offer more value, additional free samples that you're able to then put out along with your book, okay? And sometimes you can even offer both if you want. You can double down and say, here's this free article, and by the way, here's a sample from my book that correlates with that. Okay, so be looking at ways to just kind of think out of the box. What can I offer for free that's going to draw people in? Now, especially if you're offering other people's articles or things along those lines, those help for like social proof, so to speak. But when you offer things like a short story that correlates, or a different sample of your writing, or a blog that you've written, right, and you offer these type of things, you're able then to expose the reader to your writing style. You help them gain confidence in you, develop a relationship with you. They get to know you better, and they get to understand you better. And oftentimes, we're people of relationship, right? Relationships are what drive us. It's what attracts us to people and drives us away from people, is that relationship we have with them, our experience with them. This gives them a chance to experience you and your writing and your ability to communicate with them, convey a story with them. You know, how good of a storyteller are you? Do you present it in a way that appeals to them? Is it very analytical, or is it very creative? Different people like different styles, and so this is a way to get the reader to know more about your style of writing, things along those lines. Get that free sample out there so that they can get a taste, right? Why do they give away samples at the grocery store? It's so you'll buy the meat or the cheese or the whatever it is they're selling that day, right? Free sample, everybody loves a free sample. Hey, yeah, I'd love a taste of that. What happens? They get that and they're like, oh my goodness, that was so good. I've got to go get more. So make sure you use that free sample to your benefit. Make it irresistible too. That's the thing, is you need to offer something of quality. Don't just throw out some garbage. Okay, here's the rotten lettuce. I'm going to throw that out as my free sample. No, you want to give them some of the cream, right? Some of the good stuff. And so make sure that your sample is valuable, and that you're giving them something that's going to draw them in, that's going to whet their appetite enough that they just can't resist buying more of it. They got to get more of it. Okay, so that's the Free Sample Friday for today. That's my tip. Leave a comment down below. What was the last free sample you had? Maybe it was at the grocery store. Maybe it was walking through Sam's Club. We used to eat Sunday lunch at Sam's Club almost all the time, and just getting the free samples. Maybe it was a book. You know, what was the last free sample you experienced, and what was that like? How did you enjoy it? How much did it change your buying efforts? Or you know, whether or not you chose to buy something or not. Sometimes it kind of turns us away. So let us know your example with free samples. Let us know what you're doing for your own free sample down below. Are you offering a portion of your book? Are you offering a side project, a side something? What is working for you? We're here to help each other out and get the discussion going. So make sure you leave a comment down below. Let us know what's working out for you. I'm really interested in what out-of-the-box thinking that people are doing, how creative. You know, we're authors. Most of us are pretty creative in our writing, especially if you're if you write novels, things along those lines. So use your creativity and let us know, what kind of free samples can you offer? What is something that maybe we hadn't considered, and we can help each other out to sell more books, because then everybody wins. More readers, more book sales. So let us know what's working for you, what's not. Make sure you give us a like and a follow, and ring the bell if you're on YouTube so you can get those notifications, or hit the follow button on Facebook so you get our updates as they come. And make sure you share this video with someone who could use the information. Maybe they're stuck and they're trying to figure out, what else can I do for my marketing efforts? How can I try and draw in more readers? Share this information with them. It might help, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hope it helped.